Didn't Saban just signed an extension, didn't he? What I know he
Yeah,
did.
didn't he sign to like 2030?
I was gonna ask you the year.
Yeah,
28, 28, I thought. I don't know.
something like that. But his contract originally was up after the 24 season, so he kind of signed on an extra 4 or 5 years, I think.
How old is Saban? Saban's in the 70s.
Saban will be 70 this year on Halloween.
Yeah, Saban turns 70 on Halloween, and he ain't going to coach for 10 more years. He's only going to coach for another 4 or 5 at most.
Yeah, I hope so. Not that I don't like him or anything. He just needs to get out of there so maybe someone else can win.
I'm going to say what I started saying before they beat Georgia for the title in 17.
That would have been amazing, Kevin, right there.
Saban is not going to leave Tuscaloosa
Mm-hmm.
till he wins one more natty. And then, well, at that time I said 3 because he had to win 17 and then 20. Here's the reason why. He passed Bear with 7.
Right.
So he's got the most.
Right.
But him and Bear both have 6 in Tuscaloosa.
That's right. I remember you saying that on here.
Yes, and I have been saying it for a long time. Saban wants to beat Bear in Tuscaloosa. It's not enough. It's not enough for Saban to be number 1 overall. He's not, in his mind, number 1 overall because he's now, in his mind, he's even with Bryant.
Right.
In his mind, he wants at least one more in Tuscaloosa.
Right. And in case anyone listening is curious, what we're referring to as well is you got to remember Saban has 7 in total, but he's got 6 at Alabama. He's got 1 from LSU back in 2003.
And Saban has won. Yeah. Saban has won 6 in 14 years, and it took Bryant 25 years to win his 6.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, Jeff. Not only does he get 1 more, I think with that extension, with how much longer he is, he's got 7 in total. Right? You're saying
I think he'll win. I think Alabama. This is the 21 season.
Yes.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's the next 5 seasons. I would expect Alabama to win 1, if not 2, championships in the next 5 years, and Saban will be gone.
That sounds.
I think what Saban.
As arrogant as that sounds, I've been trying to tell people on all these streams that I'm not trying to be an ugly Alabama fan. That's not what my goal is here. I'm not trying to piss off the other people. But I'm warning you. I'm telling you. The last 2 recruiting classes he has had, and the one he's got coming in right now, they still have 9 slots to fill, and they're at number 2 with 9 slots still to fill. He's going to 22 to 25 teams at Alabama are going to be as good as the 9, 10, 11, and 12 teams that he had that won 3 natties.
Wow.
Bama is this is the year to beat them. Get them done.
Let's go.
Next year with those linebackers, with Bryce Young having a year underneath his belt, with the running back and the receiver, and with that oh my God, I've been saying it for a year now. The offensive line that he has coming in.
Yeah. With those
you better get Alabama this year because 22 to 25 could be really ugly for all the haters out there. And I'm not trying to be an ugly Alabama fan. I'm just saying, just look at the projections.
And by that time, y'all will probably be in the East by then.
No.
Probably what?
Probably be in the eastern side of the SEC.
Hell no.
Well, isn't that what they're talking about? Moving Auburn and Alabama to the East, and Texas and Oklahoma are going to stay in the West.
What? Okay.
That's when you look at it on paper. That's what seems to make the most sense, but that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen.
I'm going to throw this out real quick.
I would agree with you, Colby. That makes the most sense. And if I had to wave my magic wand, that's what I would do.
Right.
But of course, if I had the magic wand, I wouldn't have let him in.
You know what I think? So Saban he's got 7 championships. I think he gets 3 more before he leaves Tuscaloosa. He says, there we go. I hit double digits. I got 10 rings.
I'm not going.
Well, I wanted to ask y'all this a couple minutes ago. Do you think that Saban will leave out of the blue, or do you think he'll let the fans know, like kind of give like his 2-week notice for to say,
Oh.
Or do you think like he'll be like, hey, this is going to be my last year?
Knowing him,
I don't think. That's a great question, Colby, by the way.
I know, but
I don't think
the contract comes into play at the same time, so it might be hard.
I
feel
think
like Saban would do that if he could, because he loves Alabama. He loves Tuscaloosa.
He does.
Right, but I don't think Saban is the kind of guy that wants to have the grand retirement tour like you see some of these baseball and football players, and then every stadium they go to gives them a rocking chair or a fishing boat or a something, and everybody has a. I don't think he wants to go through that shit.
I don't think so either. He's a simple man.
I would think what would happen is they'd get in the playoffs and it'd be like mid-December or something, and he'd say, "This will be it. I'll be done at the end. I'll be done at the end of the." I mean, he'll tell the team, and then he'll announce it, and there'll be like one or two more games, and then that will be.
Y'all's last.
I don't
winning that year.
I wouldn't be surprised because obviously Saban, he wants to not only go out, he's already a winner, but I think his last game, he wants to make sure he's holding up the golden crown as a national champion. Obviously, I'm going to say this: Could you see him maybe like privately telling his team, like, "Hey guys, this championship right here, we're going to go out, open up a can of butt whooping, and this will be it for me. All right, I hate to leave, but this is going to be it." And then we don't find out publicly until he's on the stage holding up the trophy in an interview or something, and he says, "And I just want to let you guys know, I'm hanging the hat up."
I think that he'll kind of what Jeff said. I think he'll wait until December. Maybe I'm sure y'all would make the SEC championship that game. Maybe he'll tell his players a week in advance, and then he'll let it know publicly a little bit later. But
I just don't think he, and also people don't understand. His wife, Miss Terry, plays into this a lot. She's had a lot to do with some of the decisions he's made. And I don't think she wants to go through the big long farewell tour either.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So I just think
a vodka drinker.
I just think either he announces some December in the middle of the playoffs, or like Ballard says, he wins a natty, and like a week after winning it, there's all this speculation. Was that it? Was that the last game?
And he comes out and says it.
And he says something to the team, and then he comes out and says, "Yeah, that was it." I'm.
It's going to be sad. Even as a Georgia fan, I'm going to be sad to see him leave.
Well, the first person to know, obviously, when his final season is Saban himself. Like if he has like one of those off seasons or something, and in his mind or to himself, he's like, "Well, go, this is it. This is going to be my final run. This is it." Right. And then like I was mentioning, and Jeff obviously here agreeing with me, I don't think he says anything as soon as he makes a decision, like right away out the gate. I think he probably tells the current team, and maybe even, first off, does he tell the University of Alabama themselves and Greg Byrne and all them, the chancellor and everybody, does he tell the university right away, or does he wait till he's ready to actually retire right then and there and says, like, they find out maybe publicly as well? Or, I mean,
I think he would. I think he'd tell Greg Byrne. I think he'd and then have them keep it in confidence. But I think he would feel like
in the ear, maybe.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would feel like he owed the school, the decency of letting them know, He also strikes me as the kind of guy that once he makes up his mind, he's going. That's it. There ain't gonna be no change in his mind.
I agree.
He also finds me as the kind of guy that just really enjoys his job. Like, I know he gets paid millions and millions, but I feel like he
loves what he does.
Yeah, he loves what he does. I know a lot of head coaches love what they do, but Nick Saban's on a whole.
Now let me ask you this:
he said all along that the signal for him to retire will not be when he thinks he's got a team that can't win a national championship. He has said all along that the signal when he will retire will be when he thinks he can't give the effort required to win a national championship. So it won't be about the kids he's got around him. It'll be about whether he thinks he's got the energy to devote to it. Because I think he's kind of like his good friend and mentor Belichick.
Yep.
If those two guys, they just kind of have the old school attitude that if they can't give it 100%, then they're not going to give it at all.
Right. Well, I like what he said. It was right after the 2018 season. We have the blowout loss to Clemson. I always hate to bring it up, but, just so everyone knows what season I'm talking about. Right after, it was a couple months, I think, like going into the spring or whatever. Saban, remember he had that hip surgery, Jeff? And he told the press, he made an announcement, hey, I got a bad hip and I'm getting this surgery pretty soon because I don't want to coach 1 or 2 more years, but I want to coach a lot more years. You know, and I mean that, man, if that doesn't tell you what he wants to be doing with his life right now, it's almost 70 years old. I don't know what does.